normally what people do is this one. So you don't just want to grab just anywhere. You want to make a pocket here so that it's more convenient for your grip here. So this is very strong, and if you turn it inwards, it's also much stronger because it's gonna take more out of him to uncoil it first, so before you can start attacking. So one of the best guards for controlling people who are very good with open guard passes is, I feel, is double sleeve. Why? Because you're controlling both of their arms. So what are forms of double sleeve? So of course you can miss the hip. You can be in a delahiva, there's a double sleeve. You can be in a half lasso, or you can miss the hip, or you can be in a spider and a delahiva. So there are a lot of chains. You can even go on the other side. Spider here, half lasso here, right? So it depends on where you play. So the best is if you can play all of that on both sides. That's the most ideal. Because why? Because it's a very fluid guard to switch from. Even if he stands up, as long as you know where to go. Like both, they shouldn't both be at like underneath or over, because if they're both playing on the same plane above the elbow, then he can always stack, like he can push. If it's both under, then he can just step over. He can just run over those guards, those hooks. So one has to be over, one has to be under. Okay, so this over, this under. Because here he has to do a throw by to get the leg out. And for this one, he has to do something like wind it out. So he has to do something different. But if they're both here, then he can just push them off, stack, right? So that's the reason why. One under, one over. So we're gonna go over this grip, which is a half lasso and a spider. So from here, there's a lot of options. But for the first part of the class, I want us to all just feel this guard extending, bringing their hips in, extending, going on the side, being comfortable in this position. Okay? This, what it will mainly do is just float here. The most ideal is when I get the crease of the elbow in the bicep, that's where I get the side of my foot. It's always here. Because if it's too high up here, I feel like he can just shrug it. Yeah. Or like even shuck the shoulder. Yeah, it's easy. So I want to put it here. So I try to bring my heel as close as I can to my hips, out of my groin area, so here, while being on the elbow. And the sleeve has to be pulling. Because if it's just lazy, if it's just here, then he's gonna unwind it. So this has to always be pulling. Or I can form a pocket here with my hip and stay here. So it's even tighter. So it's actually behind my leg. So here. So let's play with this position, extending, bring yourself in. For the more advanced guys, you can try switching sides. You can try this. At least you feel more comfortable with this position. Like on the left side, on the right side. Okay, so just play with this position, guys. Like let's take a few minutes to feel the position. Okay? Yeah. It's the same. All right, guys, let's try it. On 3, 1, 2. Again, blade of the foot. Always remember you have to keep pulling this. So you always get it on the bicep or on the crook of the elbow. So even if flip postures up, I'll be sticky because I'm using the wrist that's behind that's in front of the leg. So I'm not just pulling him with my arms. So I'm using my whole structure. So I'm using more parts of my body than just one. Like instead of just the arm, I'm using this whole leg and this arm and the core. So flip tries the posture, you can't, and then boom, I can switch. Other side, same thing. All right. So from here, what transitions can we do? So there's a lot. So one is you can push, you can pull, you can raise your legs, get a triangle. Or if you can raise your hips fast, you can get the triangle from here.
Ginamit kasi sa competition. Signature move.
And go to the Lahiva. You can get your sweeps if you do your sitting guards here. So from here, you can make them step, go to the other side, get your deliva, sit up. Okay. So there's a lot you can do from the double sleeve. So it depends on your game. But one thing we can focus on today is we can go for a triangle here. So from here, again, what we want to do is you want to be able to extend and bring yourself in. Extend, bring yourself in. So notice I'm putting my hips underneath Coach Flip. Why? Because when we start, Coach Flip will naturally want to posture up and he'll want to retreat. He doesn't want to be in striking distance of my hips, right? So he wants to push me and he wants to move away. So naturally, what I have to do, I have to extend, bring myself in, extend, bring myself in. Notice I'm square and my hips are underneath his chest and his head. Meaning, anytime I can pull him, get an armbar, plata, or triangle. So the key is to always bring your hips close. Like, if he's really far, like if he's gonna, I can't shoot. I'll be trying to get air, so I have to bring myself closer. So from here, extend, hip in, extend, hip in, extend. And from here, if you're fast, step on the hip, raise, close, finish. Anyone need to see it again? Yes.
It's a total departure from the previous ones that we've learned in the past. Yeah. Can I show? So yeah. Before right here, you have to push so that you can expose but this one I realized now, na-transmit mo yung tiro mo eh. You're transmitting your move eh. This one's more efficient, this new one. Because this one, you don't show it eh. You're just moving in eh. Moving, timing it. So it's also timing issue.
You have to learn, you have to be aware of when they open their elbow, because at the highest level, they're going to be here, fighting like this.
So you can never push the hip.
So palaging ito, shin to shin.
And that's why you're...
Yeah.
Got it.
So you want to be loaded underneath. And you have to fit the angle already. Yeah. Hindi yung mag-adjust ka pa. Because they can posture out. Like from that one that you showed, they can do this. They run away. And most of the time, maging omoplata siya. Which is also okay. Depends on how you play. You know. That's why if it's more loose and you can just get the sleeve, you can just really turn into omoplata. Like if you play long. But if you play close distance and you have good leverage, then you can get all of it. Or even load them. Diba? So I'll show it one more time, right? So from here, I'm gonna push off. Coach Flip is gonna try to move away. As he moves away, move away. I'm gonna load myself underneath. So that's how you cover the distance. You're gonna load them here. They're gonna posture. You're gonna bring your hips. And then from there, there's a moment where before they center up, push. Before, when they center up.
That's really tight. That's not tight.
Because the elbow's not gonna be connected.
When they start centering.
Yeah, because can you put me there? Double sleeve.
The timing.
So here, as he's gonna come in. As he comes in, I know, I'm gonna move away. As he comes in, I know, posture away. So there's gonna be a moment that's gonna be separate.
And
So you have, yeah, because that's when when they're just centering up. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's when you shoot it. That is to address. I would address the spider first, just because it's so threatening that it's opening this whole side of my body and it's making me overstep. This is the one that's actually making me step there. So Coach Flip can do he can bring his hip in and make me step here, which is bad for me if you're going to be off balance, and if you're not in center, as you're going back to center, that's when he can shoot his triangles or his omoplatas. So always address your posture first, right? So from here, we're going to sit down here. Sit the butt down, and then from here, I'm going to close this elbow. I'm going to be here. Close my elbow to my hip. And then from here, this is the only thing left to address. It's the half lasso. I'm going to bring my knee here, or even to the middle, and then unwind. So at least now it's in a more neutral position where I'm negating his hooks, right? And what Coach Flip has to do is he has to address this. So he has to unwind, to break, do that again. So I unwind, That's what he's gonna do. So as he's doing that, that's when I can do my passes. So notice here, I have the grip here. What I can do is, I'm gonna posture, do a deadlift or it's called a throw by. So from here, step, here, half lasso again. Coach Flip has the half lasso, put the knee here, unwind. He's gonna unwind this. That's when I posture. I get the leg drag here, the hip, go down with the knee, go to the back. Okay, so that's one thing. Can you play the other side so they can see? Yeah. So on the other side, this is what it's gonna look like. So right knee here, unwind. You can even do that. If you can step your knee forward right away, do that. Why do I like the knee? Because if I'm too far here, if I'm gonna use that, then he's gonna be so sensitive with the grip. That's why I want a wedge. If I have a wedge, there's a delay. So it's not really just my arm. If I have a wedge, he's not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I can just break the grip or unwind, right? So I put the wedge so that I put his hip in place too. So even if he extends me here, I can break. Or just unwind from here, okay? The important part is there's no triangle. You want to be posturing up here or closing your elbow here. Because if I'm not closing my elbow, Coach Flip can extend and then just shoot a triangle. Okay, so guy on top, just make sure that you're in a squatting position. Spider grip, you grab the pants. Close your elbow. Be here. Or for the more advanced guys, if you like the knee here, swim, that's also good. As long as you address the half lasso like this. Wedge, unwind. This as well.
So the half lasso first?
Either. Depends. For the more advanced guys, you can give more nuances for your partners. Okay? You can ask them to extend, you can ask them to shoot a triangle. All right? But let's take our time with this drill. And it's more on a perceptive type of drill, so you want to feel yourself into those positions to be comfortable. All right? On 3, 1, 2. Winding out. But here, you're going to bring your knee underneath the hamstring. What it's going to do is that it's going to bring his hips up, and his hook here will disconnect because I'm using my knee. I'm going to swim in, and then from here, I'm going to go into a knee slice position. So we'll try this one. So here, wedge. Underneath, wedge as well. Swim your hand in, grab the material. Step to the side. Point the knee towards the hip, and then grab the collar here. Okay? Let's try this one, guys. One more time. Knee, unwind, unwind, step over, grab the collar. All right? Let's try it. Anyone need to see it again? Let's try it. One more? Okay. Sige. So we put the knee by the hamstring, unwind, other knee by the hamstring, underneath, swim, grab the collar. Okay? Let's try it, guys. On 3, 1, 2.